This is probably like one of the laziest things I've ever done, but I'm comfortable, so who cares? I made the decision to vlog, I guess you'll say, to video record my journey leading up to my laparoscopic myomectomy. I was diagnosed with fibroids in June, July, in the summer of 2019, and honestly, it sent me in a huge spiral, mentally, emotionally. I had so many questions. I felt like the doctor that I had at the time wasn't interested in giving me the answers. It was oh, this isn't bothering you. You're not in any pain. I'm really surprised you're not in any pain, but you're not in any pain. So, we're just not going to worry about it. And that was it. It was, hey, you have fibroids. They discovered the fibroids during my PAP. And she's like, instantly, I think you have fibroids. Like, in this chippery voice. I remember it as if it was yesterday. And it was, hey, I think you have fibroids. And I'm like, okay. She's like, we're going to do an ultrasound to confirm it. So they did. And I did. And after that, and once the emotions and what the news that was given to me had set in, I just remember feeling very lost. Because I didn't really have any information, and she didn't really give me any information. It was a, hey, this is pretty common and it's not bothering you, so we're just going to leave it alone. But for me, I felt like something growing in my body that wasn't supposed to be there. There was nothing natural about that. There was nothing that was common about that. And there was nothing that should have been common about it. And so I set off and just started doing research. And so to put it all in a nutshell, I decided to vlog how I'm feeling and what I'm doing leading up to surgery. And then, of course, I'll vlog, whatever, after, like during the recovery period, just to share. Honestly, I feel like there were so many things that I didn't know and so many questions that I had, and so many things that just weren't discussed. Once I've started, when I first found out, let me rewind. When I first found out, I didn't want to tell anybody anything. I think I remember calling my mom and talking to her about it, and them telling me that I had them and not being able to tell me how many. And I remember calling her, and she was the only person I told for a very long time. I told no one. I dealt with all of these feelings and all of these emotions alone. And making the decision to kind of deal with everything on the forefront alone, it wasn't that I didn't have the support or anything like that. I just needed to process my feelings. I needed to process what was told to me by myself, because if someone was to ask me how I felt, what I needed, I would have told them that I had no idea, because I truly had no idea. And so for a few months, I just figured it out and felt the feelings. And I think a part of me was kind of, I don't know if I want to say ashamed, but I was just nervous to tell people. I didn't know how to communicate what was going on with my body. I knew that I couldn't answer questions that maybe somebody had. And so I did a lot of research in that research, of course, it just blows my mind that nobody knows for sure what causes fibroids to grow. There is a lot of speculation of what may cause them to grow, but nobody knows for sure what causes them. And they also disproportionately affect African American women. Big surprise there. And so I feel like because it disproportionately affects one ethnic group and women, that it's still going to be a very long time before someone can figure it out. It seems like when it comes to fibroids, when it comes to cysts, when it comes to PCOS, things that endometriosis, things that plague the woman's body, nobody has answers for it. And so it is my prayer that as people begin to bring more awareness to these things and to women's health altogether, that someone decides to do something. My decision to share all of this is just because I felt like when everything happened, I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to feel. I didn't know who to talk to. I was angry with my doctor because I had a doctor who I had seen for years who never told me that these things were growing in my body. And I am beyond a shadow of a doubt certain that they were there over the course of a decade of him treating me. And he never said anything. So I had to deal with the emotions of that. I had to deal with the emotions of how this would affect my fertility because I do not have children. I had to deal with the emotions of potentially having to change my diet and my eating habits because based on the research that I did, it was stated that the things that we eat and the things that we consume contribute to them growing. There were so many things that I processed in a matter of 6 months. And so it probably took me about 2 to 3 before I started telling anybody. Nonetheless, I feel like I am rattling, but is that the word? Rambling, Jesus. I feel like I am rambling on. And so I am going to put together a series of videos that just document this journey, document this process, document my feelings, document my emotions, document whatever transpires. I just want to be able to help. I know that I remember feeling so helpless. And so it is my prayer that me sharing what I'm sharing as I'm going through this is something that's going to be helpful to someone else, even if it's just one single person. My goal is to help. So as I sit in the floor of my office, with my dog crawling beside me, one of them, I just invite you along with me on this journey. I'll always say to do your own research, to do what works for your body, to ask the questions that you need to ask to feel well informed on the decisions that you make. It took 3 physicians. I had 3 different consultations with 3 physicians before I decided to do the laparoscopic myomectomy. And the first 2 options that were presented to me was a full open myomectomy. And for me, that was just the no. I wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't have peace about allowing someone to do that procedure. In my mind, I'm like, there just has to be another way. And so I've tried the natural alternative route, I am not quite as disciplined as I thought to do that process. I started it. I did not finish it. I started and stopped it several times over the course of a month of juicing and taking herbs and doing cleanses and just trying to take a more holistic approach to this process. And I had to be realistic with me and who I am and whether or not that was something that I could commit to. And although I felt like I could, as time went on, it was so much more difficult than what I imagined. And so I know that there have been things that I've read where people said that, trying herbs and holistic approaches is what worked for them. And, praise be to God for them. But that was not the case for me. I do believe that as I was going through that process and changing my diet and changing my habits and changing my way of life and focusing on me, that there were some things that shifted what was happening in my body and helping them to slow in growth. And I had my largest one shrink. So I am not in any way saying that it is not possible, because I do believe that if you are disciplined and that if you stick to it, that a holistic approach is possible for you. For me, I wasn't successful. However, this journey is about the things, the events, my feelings, my emotions leading up to my laparoscopic myomectomy. And that's what I'm here to share. I can't share about the holistic and natural approach because I was unsuccessful in trying it. But I can share where I am right here and right now. And it is my prayer that in me being vulnerable and being completely open and transparent in this process, that it is something that is going to add value to you in some way. Whoever watches this, whenever you watch this, it is my prayer that this is helpful and beneficial to you as you follow me on my journey to my laparoscopic myomectomy. So thank you for watching. And that's all I have for now.